Normally, I do something called the 5-star shout out. I'm not gonna say it because I don't believe in it. I don't believe in you can't make a you know what I'm talking about.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Saturday Morning Side Jawn. Your host, Dennis Holmes. I'm here with my co-host, the Chocolate Girl.
Hey, Din. What's up, baby?
Not much. I stole that from June right there. June gonna see this and he gonna talk to me when we get to the brunch later on today. But
of course,
June
is. Well, what's up on this Saturday? You know, it's my favorite day of the week.
Yes, and we're here with the Puttin It on the Pod series. We have a special guest today, Kristina Neely, who has 2 podcast shows. One is Wild Thoughts, and the other one is Talk. Oh shit, I messed it up. It's Talk.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. I was about to say something about it. I was about to say talk to me. That's what I was about to say. Let's talk about it in Wild Thoughts. So we want to introduce Kristina Neely here, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Side Joint family, or Puttin in the Pod family. I'm your girl.
Oh, no, we Side Joint.
We decide doing the series that we got. We got different series that we do. We interview people. So if we interview a DJ, it's goddamn that DJ made my day. If we do firefighters, nurses, you know, as our heroes. If we do
coaches,
thanks, coach. I'm missing something.
About the biz. If we
about
do
the biz for the people that's got their business going, and the comedy one.
We're gonna do a health segment called More Bounce, but we still haven't done it yet.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. It's gonna get done.
Called More Bounce. You know, get healthy, put some more bounce in your step.
Right. I've been feeling good lately. I ain't gonna lie. You know what? Let's talk about our weeks. Since Kristina is our guest, Kristina, how has your week been?
It's been eventful, but I'm blessed nonetheless.
Okay. All right. How about you, Chocolate Girl?
It's been eventful too. Mother's Day was great. Shout out to my number one and only son, Daryl, who cooked me a special dinner on Mother's Day, including ribs. He knows how much I love ribs, and we got in the kitchen together, and I was able to tell him what to do, and he did everything I told him to do, and those ribs are superb. So shout out to him and for my flowers and my special Foreman grill he got me, and because he knows I'm trying to stay healthy, so I eat healthy. Okay. So it's been a good week. Kind of hard, missing my mama, you know, but it was good. It was good to be with my son.
Yeah. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there that we miss. You know, happy Mother's Day to you ladies on here as well.
Thank you.
My mother, on the other hand, instilled in us when we was younger. Give me the money. All right. That's what she told me. And you know, at first I used to be like, "Oh my, come on, we go out to dinner and everything." No. Give me the money. And then she broke it down to me. She was like, on Mother's Day, you ain't going to no restaurant on Mother's Day. All unpacked. Can't get a reservation nowhere. Ain't gonna have a good time. It's like she right. She's absolutely right.
She makes sense.
Makes sense.
She said, "Give me the money."
Listen to your mama.
Right. She said, "Give me the money. We can have a barbecue." So I always make sure I cook out for it. Make sure I cooked out for it the other day. And one of the things with my mom is you gotta make sure you really cook out for her, because if she can taste the lighter fluid, she throwing all that shit in the trash. You know, she throwing all that shit in the trash. She telling you right then and there, you don't know what she doing. Get off the grill. She telling you right then and there.
I
Oh,
like that.
I appreciate her candor.
I do too. How was your week's been good though, Dennis?
Yeah, my week was good. My week was good. I don't know. I got a new pep in my step this week. I don't know what's been going on. For some reason, I've been getting up earlier. Been walking. I ain't had no problems. Like I'm real pep in my step lately.
All
I think
right,
they're
pal.
working me too hard at my job. I think that's what it is. They're working me too hard at my job. I know my
You,
coworkers
I
watching. They're
mean,
working me too hard.
but the pep. I mean, is
Right.
that from eating glizzies or what?
Glizzy, seeing glizzy. Yeah, that's what I tell the kids. They love them glizzy.
Mhm.
But anyway, let's just Shannon talking about glizzies. Ain't that something? Let's get
Like
back to the show, y'all.
I'm from Philly or something.
No, they say that everywhere. They say
They say
glizzies
I
it
ain't
everywhere.
never
everywhere.
heard that down here.
They say it
Yeah,
everywhere.
I mean, they just start saying it
They
like
just started saying right here.
2018. I'll tell you that.
Ain't
They
never heard that.
just start saying like 2018. That's when I start hearing
Shout out to OG. Never
it. Yeah,
heard of it.
never heard of
About
it. It
that.
was like, yeah, we want some. It was like, oh yeah, don't give me no glizzies. I said, what's a glizzy? This is some hot dogs you cooking. I don't want no glizzies. I said,
And watch
what?
they gonna eat
I
the
said,
hot dog
when
right
I grew
behind
up,
you.
a glizzy was a Glock. All right, that was a gun.
Right. Right.
That's all I knew. I didn't know about no hot dog.
That's why things start changing. We used to say, "Yo, go get the ratchet." That meant somebody go get the gun,
Right.
not you ratchet, you ghetto. Like that ain't what that meant.
I see.
Because when I heard it, it was like, "Oh, you ratchet. Who got a gun?" I was like, "That's the way I was. Like, who got a gun?" Like
Mhm. Yeah, that's what I would have said.
two different eras, though. That's all it is. Two different eras. So we're here this week talking about putting on a pod. We always talk about, podcasts and what made people do podcasts and how did you get into it? Because we really want to get into, the thick and thin of podcasting because there's a lot of people out there that want to start and they want to get things started and they want to do a podcast and they always got all these ideas. I mean, I met one dude. Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. I met one dude that came to me and said, "Yeah, I want to do a podcast." So I'm like, "All right, yeah, that's cool. What you want to do your podcast on?" "I don't know." "What? What's no, no, no. What subject you going?" "I don't know, but I want to do a podcast." "What? What day you gonna do it on?" "I don't know." "Man, call me later, man. Don't be hitting me with that bullshit, man. Come on, man. You just don't know nothing, not a subject, not nothing. You just, yeah, yeah. The way I seen you doing it, I want to do a podcast. All right, I guess that's your motivation. You seen me. Uh-huh.
They had no idea of the work it takes.
It takes a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
But Kristina, I want you to break it down to the people about how you started and what got you going.
Well, initially, 2013, I used to have like little meetings with my friends, and we would call it Breakfast Club. So everybody would come to my house, and we would have breakfast together, and we would have these conversations, and we would talk about all the stuff, and everybody used to think I was so funny. But at the time, I didn't know the jargon for it was podcasting.
Hmm.
So I tried to find a couple people that would, show me how to do it. It died. So when COVID came back around, I'll tell the story. I broke my neck, and I was trying to figure out what I was going to do after I rehabbed from breaking my neck because I wasn't going to be able to go back to the profession I actually had. So I hopped on social. I was like, you know what? I'm going to do a hobby and I'm going to do something that I really like. I'm really ambitious like that. So if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And I just hopped on one day and I made a stat. I want to do podcasting. And then all these people was like, you know what, Kristina, you funny. You be spitting some stuff. I think you would be good at it. Go look on YouTube. Maybe an hour or two later, he's like the originator of podcasting in my area. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with him, but his name is Andre Robinson. Andre Robinson said, I can show you how to do podcasting. If you just wait and I'll give you a call, I'm going to interview you, see if you have the personality for podcasting. skip a few parts, skip a few parts. I said, well, I'm kind of nervous because I know I want to talk about I talk too much. I'm gonna talk about everything. So he was like, I said, but I don't know exactly where I want to stay at. I said, but what I want to do is, if I'm gonna be good at it, I'll make you a deal. I said, you teach me how to podcast. I'll be an intern for 6 months, and you teach me how to podcast, and then we'll go from there. So he basically showed me the ins and outs. So for like 4 months straight, I did every kind of podcast you could think of. Sports podcasting, I did hockey, I did wrestling, I did community-based podcasts. I was like jumping on everything. If you did comics, I was doing it because I wanted to be able to be diverse in everything that I did. So then after a while, me and Andre had a chemistry, and his fans from the sports world liked me just based on audio. So then we decided, let's take it another step and go into one of the sports shows. Well, they don't think the stereotype is that girls don't like sports. Well, I'm a girl that likes sports. I love them, actually. I talk the most stuff. I'm going to talk it big. So I ended up doing that, and then I did that for like 7 or 8 months to a year. And the whole time I was trying to develop what my niche was. So what I did was I started going into I watched a few because I knew I had a type of ideology like Drink Champs. I wanted to be able to make it seem like we were sitting with our homeboys, our homegirls, and just kicking it. But we talking about some real life stuff right here. So I came up with this idea and we did that. And then it became, okay, now I got to formulate a program in it. So then I did everything. I talked about fashion. I talked about sports. I talked about community. I talked about international news. I talked about anything I could put my finger on. I was talking about it. And I was doing it to a constant basis of probably like 4 to 5 days a week. 16, maybe I would be up till maybe 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, talking about a million decibels, tired. So then I started looking for personalities that were similar to mine, but you had to be funny in order, because these things we're gonna be talking about are gonna be harsh. You gotta throw some steak on it. You gotta throw some humor in it. And I'm gonna get sassy if you piss me off. So I needed people to have that same like-minded personality, had to have the humor, and they had to be educated because no one wants to talk to a dummy. And I started doing little podcast, looking for fishing for people. And I fished for people. So now that was like a year span. I fished for all of these people, went to a group. When I started, they all flaked on me. And so now I got scared. And it was shaky at first, but I kept going. Dennis is one of my mentors. So he kept pushing me, kept calling me, asking me when I was gonna do it. And then after a while, I just came to him and was like, Dennis, my guest didn't show. Can you help me? And he would help me. And then it just became easier and easier. And then one day I got up this idea to do Wild Wild Thoughts. Wild Wild Thoughts was never meant to be a podcast. It was supposed to be one spicy live. And it went viral. It went to like the first night, I was up all night just seeing what the numbers was. I didn't care if you commented. I just wanted to see if you watched my stuff. And if I was good enough for you to sit there and listen to me. But because I did the stuff with Andre, I already created a fan base from over there. So they just followed me over there. And it went viral and people shared it. And then it kept going viral. And then I made like 5, 6 more videos after that and they kept going viral. Then one day I woke up, I had 3,500 followers.
Wow.
And that was like in a year and a half. So now we're at year 3. That's how it started.
Shout out to Andre Robinson.
Shout out to Andre Robinson.
Friend of the show.
Shout out
What's
to
up,
the
Andre?
We created he just sit there and let me go because I have so many ideas in my head. But I literally only started with a desk lamp, a laptop, and a makeup mirror. And that was it for lights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I get it.
man, that is something to talk about. So what was what I want to say is, what were some of the topics that you were talking about on Wild Wild Thoughts?
Okay. So, Wild Wild Thoughts is very much like a Pandora's box of sex and relationships. So it can be scenarios. We do sex and relationships, sexual fantasies. Um, we talk about sexual topics. I might see something on social media and then I'll take it and put a twist to it, and then I'll add all of these questions, create the inversion. So, very first video that went viral, what's your Pornhub search bar description? And,
Mm.
and it went every time, every single time. And then I just would just come up with these questions. I would be dead asleep. Gotta write it down. Then I'll call my friends and I would sit there and play with them. And they would be answering like, oh my God, Kristina, it's funny. But then I would tell them I was gonna do it this way. But when we went live, I turned on. So it was something different. So now I'm singing, I might be cracking jokes. It just all depends on how you want your pod to be. But Dennis knows it can go from something totally different to something totally left. I might ask you something crazy. Um, I just did a random live. It's just a preview to like one of the shows, like do relationships. Should there be sexual requirements when you're coming into a relationship? Is there certain things that you need to have from your partner sexually in order to be like, okay, I'm gonna be with this person? Is it realistic? Probably not, but people have those ideas.
Yeah, people do got those ideas. It's just a crazy thought. Now you've been through what I want to call a series of co-hosts. I
Yes.
haven't been through no series of co-hosts. I've been blessed to have the chocolate girl on the side, Joe. I haven't been through a series of co-hosts. But you have been through a series of co-hosts, and it took you a while to find your niche. Like it took me a while to find a female to actually do a show with and be consistent every Saturday, like Sharon.
Mhm.
Right.
Because people won't come if it's not their idea, it's not their baby, they're not gonna commit to it. That's what I learned. And I used to be really, really frustrated because I didn't feel like I can convey what I wanted to say without having. I can still do it, but now is I prefer not to. I always want to have somebody there with me, but at this point in time, if you jump in them comments and say one thing to me, watch me go. But that's you have to motivate yourself to want to do something like that, and you also have to have a personality, and you got to be able to have the conversation and it be intriguing. It don't got to be nothing glamorous or anything like that. Just long as you know, here's my suggestion: if four people think that have a conversation with you and think it's good, keep going.
Yeah. Always get that content out. That's what I'm trying
Always
to
push
do.
your content.
Always push your content out, no
Always
matter
push.
what. And
And I push
somebody might
I
not
push
like it.
all type
Somebody
at
might
this
not like
point.
it.
Me, I
Like
push all type
today,
of content.
I always say today it might not sell, but when you're talking about timeless content, next year it may sell a whole lot. I know a comedian. Shout out to Two Ray told a joke back in 2009, right? Told a joke in 2009 and put it back out on the Throwback Thursday. I want to say about 6 7 months ago, and it went viral after that. Told a joke about coming in late on a curfew about
Yes.
2009, and it came back
Mm-hmm.
out on Throwback Thursday, and then DL Hughley reposted it.
Mhm.
Yep.
That just let you know when you got timeless content, put it out there
Put
and
it out there.
re-put it
Keep
out there
keep going. Even if
until
you
it
fail,
until it
just keep
goes.
going because failing or things falling apart, like Dennis said, I went through several co-hosts, several, because this is my baby. So I'm not at this point. I don't really care if you don't join me or not, but keep pushing your content because, like I said, I never thought none of my videos was gonna go viral. I didn't think I had who gonna follow me. I'm just a regular person. I
Hip
still,
hop.
you know what I mean? Like, I'm not no celebrity. I don't, I, I didn't initially get paid off of it. I got brand ambassadors. It's just all about how you brand ambassadors. I brand for other people. I've branded for big companies. Fenty. I've done that. I've done hair, makeup. It's just all they send me jewelry, nails. I do, but lashes is my thing. Y'all can't touch me with that. But um, other than that, just keep going.
Now I got a question for the both of y'all right here. Somebody asked me this, and I said I was gonna ask it here because this is kind of like a relationship question. I thought this would be a good platform to use. This is the question: how do you know that your relationship is leading towards marriage without an engagement ring?
Are you asking me?
Asking both of y'all.
Okay. For me, this relationship was my current relationship is just like it's just totally different. We talk. You can tell it comes very natural and it doesn't happen over a course of time because I actually didn't like him. He actually got on my nerves. Very much like I was blocking him like every other week. Um, Literally like get off my phone, click. And he was like if you don't want to be with me, he's like you don't gotta be with me, but I want to be with you, and I'm just gonna annoy you until you say yes. And then after a while, it's just like everything just fell into place naturally. I don't know. I kind of like feel like I'm gonna get engaged this year. Probably not. I don't know because I still block him. So what does that mean? He, if you knew him, you
Yeah,
understand. He's pesty. You block him too.
but you okay? The reason I looked at you like that because you got to answer the question. Well, it can't be just a the hell.
For each person, it's a series of things you have. Okay, I always say like if for your ideal mate, nobody's perfect. There are certain things and certain qualities that you look in a person. So for me, he had he had a he loves his religion. We have a lot of things in common. Like we have a sense of humor. I can comfortably crack jokes with him. We have a lot of the same likes. We talk about a different range of topics, and we'll sit there and talk about them. And he's judgmental, but he understands. Like he gets my perspective of it. Um, we've talked. He's talked about marriage. Like you ain't no man just talking about marriage. Not nowadays, because the dating scene sucks, especially after COVID. Um, but I just knew in my mind, just after a period of time, it wasn't like it took a long time, probably like up until recently. I I felt, but now I know. So,
Okay. How about you, chocolate girl?
It's a knowing that I can't really explain. You
yeah,
you just you just kind of know.
right,
If you don't have a ring, you can feel it in your bones. You can feel it in your soul, in your spirit. This person is vibing with me. I'm vibing with him, and everything is good. We're smooth. Everything is smooth. You got disagreements. We know how to settle. We, yin and yang. You just know, and then you just kind of waiting around for them to ask the question, unless you one of those girls that believe in
pushy,
asking again. I don't, but if you do, that's fine. But you don't have to wait for the ring to know where you're gonna go.
right,
But also, you have to have the conversation. After a while, you're gonna have to have the conversation. Okay, where are we going? I'm not saying you do it at day 25,
right.
but after a while, you have to ask the question, hey, where are we going with this? What's it all about? So that's the best way I can answer it, because it's really a difficult question to answer. It's not one right answer, and it's not
Right.
the same for everybody.
You'll just know. But
Hmm.
like I said, it's like core values. So it's like the things that are really important to you, and you'll know. You just know. I don't know how you know, but you just know. Um, I've been married before, and I never had that feeling. So I don't know. I knew
Mm.
I wrote in my book when I was like before me and my ex-husband got together, like we're dating. I was like, I'm gonna leave him, and I knew that already. So it's certain things that you want in a person, and if that person can't offer it to you, and y'all can't compromise and meet each other halfway. Basically, I say it to you like this: through your hardest moment, if that person sticks with you and they're
Hmm.
still willing to compromise and still, through the ugly, still love you, with the little crusty stuff in your eye, you sick. If it, you know what I mean? Several things. It could be several different things. You'll know.
Okay. All right. That was dare to be different. Dare to be different. I just some things I just be wanting to know.
What's your ideal?
Yeah,
What's
you
your
threw me
ideal on
you
it?
threw me for a loop with that question, Dennis.
Right? I wasn't expecting
Is
that one.
Wasn't ready for that.
Wasn't expecting that one.
I had to throw something out there. Um, because I remember. Well, let me backtrack a little bit. I remember when I met Christina. I met Christina through Rise Up, Andre Torch Robinson, as she said, and they were doing y'all were doing the news show. I think it was called what was the call? Worldwide Connections
Um,
or
um, how did I forget it? Um, coming, living full circle.
yeah, full circle. That was a news show y'all was doing on the network.
Hmm.
And that went forward, and then next thing you know, you started to move up inside and rise up. And I mean, I was happy for you that you was growing and knowing things, and then you was coming along and starting to get your own show. And I was like, yeah, well, that's good because we gonna need another show if it's gonna keep going. Because like I said, I looked at Rise Up a little bit different than everybody else. I was looking like you had to be consistently on every day to the point that it's almost like you got your own to the point you'll have your own app and your shows will continuously be on.
Right.
Right.
That's how I looked at it.
Mm-hmm.
But that don't mean that's how it's gonna go. That's just the way I looked at it. Now I look at things a lot different now. Because like I said, everybody gotta be on the same page. Like you said, you've been through a bunch of hosts and things just wasn't as good as you thought they was gonna be. What made you do two shows? Why not just combine them into one?
Um, I, why not combine? Because everybody's not going to want to talk about sex and relationships. Everybody's not comfortable with that. It's still, even though we're in the age of equal rights, gay rights, and all that stuff, and everything is love and not, people are uncomfortable talking about that. So when I'm talking about community-based stuff on a Thursday at 6 o'clock, hey, let's put all a dildo, or you know what I mean, like that. You can't correlate the two. And I really, like I said, it was never supposed to be. I never planned on doing two podcasts. I didn't think my mental capacity could deal with that because there's a lot to a podcast, especially if you want a decent podcast. If you want to throw something out there, by all means. But if you trust in yourself and you want your podcast to do whatever you want it to do, you'll really focus on it. But I started getting like you should do this all the time. And then people were like calling me like, Kristina, you gonna do that live? You gonna do that live again? And then it just one day I was sitting down here. I always say my one best friend. He's my muse. We was sitting here and I'm like, I'm writing notes down about how I'm gonna do this next live. He was like, you should. He said he used to call me Pooh. He's like, Pooh, you should make it a show. He was like, it's really that good. And I was like, okay, nah. I still got nervous. And then people started calling. Like I was my friends. And then I started bringing my friends on, like my closest childhood friends. And we all got the same personality. And we just having a good time. And after a while, it was a show. Never really asked for it. Just fell in my lap.
That's good. That's good. All right. Shannon, you got any questions, bro?
Well, yeah, about the podcasting. So you mentioned earlier, I think that you do this by yourself with no co-host. Is that right?
No co-host, no team, no production. I do everything.
How do you decide what you're going to be talking about on your episodes?
Um, a lot of times, I might see a person put out a question, I thought it was interesting, but it was just worded wrong, or it might be like what I'll go on social media and I'll just look around on my internet. A lot of times, with the let's talk about it, I say for me, it's therapy on the air. It's very much therapy on the air. Let's
Mhm.
talk about it. There's a lot of community-based things. So I talk about a lot of things that are very difficult to talk about because, and the African American community, they like to like keep a lot of things on the hush, and a lot of things don't become resolved, or people don't feel okay with speaking and talking about these things, and or they want to talk about them and they just don't know how to talk about them, or they just don't. They're it might have been one day they were just looking for something. It all depends. It could be. It honestly for me, it could have been a commercial. It could have been something I overheard. It could something that relates to my personal life. A lot of those topics, 25% of those topics are things that are going on in my head or that I just want to know.
Right. Yeah, see, I'm a curious person too. So sometimes if I want to know more about something, that's
Yeah.
that's when I'll suggest, "Hey, Dennis, let's do this." But yeah, I wanted to ask you something else too. What do you find was the hardest part of getting started in podcasting for you?
The hardest part was jumping in and doing it. The idea was easy. Doing the work to try to formulate a podcast, that was easy because Dennis and everybody from Rise Up had already shown me the steps on how to like create the format to create a podcast. So that was the easy part. It
Mhm.
was figuring out how I was gonna make this work for me. That's how that worked. But honestly, I thought I would probably lose a passion out of it, but at this point, I love it. I got a
What's
little public access out of it, so a little public access show out of it too. So I don't really worry about it.
why do you love it so much? What about it makes you love it? I know you were saying it's something like therapy when you do these shows sometimes, but what about it that you like the most, that you love the most about doing it?
When people started reaching out and really saying like, well, I loved it period because I could talk about what I wanted to talk about, and it be a safe space, and that it doesn't necessarily got to be like this detrimental topic or this. It was just like okay, my favorite slogan was "Let me talk my just let me talk my stuff." And
Mhm.
then when I seen that people are really agreeing and really understanding where I'm coming from, because this is podcasting is really just a point of view,
True.
an opinion. So to find that people thought that this opinion and point of view was interesting, and they really believed it and really, yeah, why not? Now that might be my assignment because I don't. It could be the littlest thing that I'm talking about that can really affect somebody's life and change their narrative. That's good. That's good enough for me. I really don't care about the money of podcasting. It's
Mhm.
nice, but if I can change a person's life, I can prevent you from committing suicide or something like that, or or encourage you to go deeper into your community or realize that you're the reason why you are is because you you had a really traumatic childhood and you need to embrace these so you can become a better person.
Hmm.
That's my those my dues to God. That's it.
Right. Right. Hmm. It was something else I wanted to ask you. Oh, okay. So you do you ever do live broadcasts like
Every last one of them.
on location? I mean, like outside of the studio?
Every last one. The ones that I go live everywhere if I can. A lot of times, like if I have like a lot of guests, if I'm doing something like this is my personal home studio. If not, I'll go into my office space. If I'm going out of town, I'll take my guests and I'll bring them into the studio. I take all my equipment with me.
Mhm.
So lights, mics, I have lapel mics, backgrounds. When I go to I was doing shows in the bar. I was doing my podcast and hosting and doing the show in the bars and nightclubs too. I did that all last year, and I was taking the stuff and carrying it with me. It's just really how you want to handle it. You can stay at home if you want to. I never even wanted to host, but my last co-host said, he was like, I think that you should try this. And I was like, I'm not going to be able to do this. And then I went there, and the people love me, and they would watch me do my podcast. And I got followers from all types of backgrounds, races, and That's networking. It's
Well,
networking.
that's what. What did you say?
Networking. I'm sorry, I'm losing my
Networking.
word.
That's okay.
Networking.
Networking.
hmm
Yeah. Talk a little bit more about that networking.
it,
See,
and I
you
said,
you you told me you're in in Buffalo,
I'm in
right?
Buffalo.
Very community based city.
Very.
How do you use your platform to serve your community in that way?
Um, this is my next portion of project. So, um, where we lack and need things,
Hmm.
like I was just telling me while we were talking before the show, I was telling you like, um, Buffalo is a food desert.
Hmm.
I'm interested in starting co-ops and teaching us how to, grow gardens and
Hmm.
provide these resources for ourselves. And, look, I try to collaborate with people that are interested in teaching people about financial literacy. That was a big thing for me my first year, financial literacy. And then
Hmm.
it was 6 months later, it was like I focused on mental health a lot because mental health was running rampant through here.
Hmm.
And um, it was just based on need. So I try to collaborate with people that are interested in building up community, very much into building up the community, scholarship, mentorship programs, housing, domestic violence. Um, it's just several things. It just I think it's based on like what my interest is in networking, and then I found people that they would watch the show and be like that was really good. If you want to collab and do this, let's do that. And then I might decide I want to do music, but then I do like an artist special. Like I do a series of interviews. I do like different series. Like you guys got different things, but
Hmm.
I might do an artist spotlight, and we focus on the artist and his music and trying to get him out there. And I brand them, I promote them. I just basically pay it forward. That's my job. I pay it forward.
And what vision do you have for your both of your podcasts? You got um this what's it what's the
Wild
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 one?
Thoughts, and let's talk
Yeah,
about
wild
it.
with us. Yeah. What type of vision and goals do you
I'm
have
going
for
to
them?
be perfectly honest because technically I'm still a newborn in this. Okay, so I really don't know. I'm just going where God tells me. At this point, I think let's talk about it. Is going to probably transfer over, which it already is right now. It's transferring over into like a TV show, and
Mm.
I've already started doing that. I started that last summer, recording shows on public access, and then Wild Wild Thoughts will probably. I'm trying to get that to radio, a satellite radio, and then whatever else comes in between it. I made a branding company out of it, branding and promotion. I mean, I brand people,
That's good.
and I make cars, I make logos, I might make your videos, I might edit your videos down, I might
Hmm.
make you a commercial. It just by me having to go through the people and people leaving and people not fully committing, I was like, you know what? Because podcasting can be expensive, like it really can.
Yeah.
I was cutting corners. I'm gonna learn how to do everything. So that's basically how it started. That's how I do everything by myself because I was like determined. I was getting frustrated by people disappointing me, and it was I didn't feel like I just couldn't get all my content out, and I was getting frustrated. So I learned how to do everything. Do I like it? No, but it is what it is. It works for me right now. Eventually, somebody will, I'll see another person, a family of people again.
Hmm. Have you ever had somebody mm, just speak out of character or out of point, just be out,
Yes.
speak badly about you in the comments during your show or
Um,
even on your show? How do you deal with people used to call them hecklers, but now they're just trolls? But how do you deal with them on your show, or do you even acknowledge them?
it's a, it's it really depends on my mood. A lot of times I
Yeah.
don't if it's a lot of times they're really positive, but I've had some evil trollers like death, um, sending me messages, blocking messages, sending me pictures of dead bodies. You know what I was doing to them when I putting them on blast,
Wow.
put them right on the platform, and then disappear. I've had people troll me in public, so at this point, what don't kill me make me stronger. You ain't gonna you're intimidated by what I'm saying, and a lot of
Mhm.
times it's because you wish you could do it and you just don't have the courage. And
Right.
if you just took the 5 minutes, I really believe in paying it forward. I've like started I help people start like I think like 7 or 8 podcasts maybe. So I don't ask for no money when it comes to that because I understand how hard it is and how frustrating it can be when you're trying to get your creativity out. This is art. Everything we do is art, especially when you're doing something to try and help people, or even if it's entertainment purposes, it's art. So,
Hmm.
like Erica Badu, this is my art. Respect my I don't. I will embarrass. I will.
That's right.
I will embarrass you.
That's right. That's good stuff. Good stuff. Dennis, you got some questions?
I got a couple of last questions. We want to know. Well, first thing we also want to know is when will we see you come back? I know you did a show May 10th.
I did a show May 10th. I will be back. I'm supposed to start back this week. I really just be. It's about timing right now, but there's a lot of things going on like in the background. But back fully, like it just. I'll be back fully this week. Like I start um next Wednesday coming up. You'll see me like Wednesdays and Saturdays because I do the 2 shows, and then I go lives. I do random lives on TikTok. Um, it's just you got to commit to a schedule.
True.
Man,
Yep.
that's the thing. Commitment is the hard thing. That's why I was saying you're doing 2 shows. It's like
It's a
I know what that type of is. So,
I be tired,
yeah.
like dog tired
Especially when
sleep.
you gotta when you have to produce both shows, you get tired. Now, if you just on one show and you produce another one, that's different. You could
That's
do
totally
that,
different, right?
right? You could do that. But when you have to produce both shows, nah, it's a whole other level.
Produce,
Producing and
create.
make sure everything
Yeah,
sounds
it's
right,
a lot. I
get
have one
everything
day
together.
off, and it's Monday.
Man, that's when things get different. But just being a talent, that's why I love going on Wild Wednesday. So Wild Wednesday, I could just be the talent. You know what I mean? And I just come in, be the talent, do what I need to do, get my segment out,
Mhm.
and that's it.
Yep.
Everything else, DJ take care of it.
Yep. And you don't have to split your mind, split your attention.
Right, right.
Hmm.
Like on Tuesdays, I gotta split everything down. So it's like, I gotta make sure I got everything up running right.
Right, right, right. Because you
But
get frustrated when it don't go off with a hitch.
it ain't that it don't go off with a hit. I'm not really so much frustrated on that. It's just that I just want everything to sound right.
Mm,
Because I focus all my shows on the audio. I want you to be able to hear me if you're at the gym, if you're driving to work. I want you to be able to hear me if you're just anything you're doing with audio. I want you to be able to just pop in like listen to this podcast. Like my cousin, he's one of the ones he hits me up all the time. Him and my uncle because they listen to me because they drive a lot. So they both listen to me. Try to listen to Talk Ish or they listen to the Side Jawn or Wild Wednesday, and they be like, "Hey man, the show ain't up there, man. What you doing?"
Yeah. Where you at?
Right, where you at? Why you
they,
put the show up?
they call me. I get it.
Right.
The only thing I didn't like about podcasts, well, I don't know if that happens to you guys, but they, I've had the people in my town steal my whole podcast.
Oh yeah, people gonna steal your stuff.
No, like the name, the show,
Yeah, they're
everything.
gonna steal. They're gonna steal your name. They're gonna steal your ideas. They're
I'm
gonna try to do it
copyrighted,
their
so y'all
way.
can't touch
But
me.
like, there's been people trying to steal all my stuff. The one thing they can't steal is my hustle.
Right.
That's
And you'll
right.
never,
I'll give you everything I got. You can't take this hustle with you.
right, right. So I just don't even, that's why I'm like, you know what?
But I don't let that.
Y'all
But
doing it.
see, if somebody's
Y'all
stealing,
enjoy this.
this is a valuable lesson I'm gonna tell you. Now, my grandma told me, somebody's taking your stuff and seeing what you're doing. Don't even worry about that, because all
Um,
it's doing is gonna make you better. Don't even worry about that.
it just made me go harder. I don't really.
But
Um,
don't let it discourage you though. That's what I'm saying.
oh no!
Like I remember back when you used to do the
When I first started, I used to be so mad. I used to be so frustrated. Like, stop stealing my stuff. Like, what? Get your own ideas. You can work with me. You don't gotta steal them. You know what I mean? I'm more than happy. But now, it's just over time, and then learning to relax and understand if they're stealing your stuff, you must be doing something right. So take it. It's just not gonna be the same.
yeah.
So I'm not.
I
I
knew
don't
people
really.
that used to get heckled for their stuff, and they used to be upset. Like, yo, man, people in the comments keep talking smack. Let them talk. They there every week. Let them talk.
Right.
They were there at every one of your shows. They there every week. Let them talk. But
Right.
see, one of the things that you was doing that was a little bit different than everybody else, and I think you need to get back to that, is when you was popping up at them live shows, like you was telling Sharon earlier. Because you used to pop up to them open mics and do those. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And you would sit there
Yep.
and do those. And I think you need to get back to that because they're now paying comedy clubs so much money for the same stuff that you doing.
Well,
Same
yeah.
stuff that you was doing. They paying comedy clubs a lot of money for that.
I wouldn't do it in Buffalo.
So
I,
you letting that discourage you.
I don't have no. Let me say this. I would not. I'm not opposed to not collaborating with people in Buffalo. I've always have. They're not willing to collaborate with me, so I used to ask people and stuff like that. Now I would I what I do is so I keep myself encouraged. I go outside the box and I go to other places. And I honestly I don't ask. They're asking and I'll go. Hey, I'm down. Just let me know. And that's how I ended up being on other people's podcasts and other shows and stuff.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Is it really? Because I hear a lot of y'all say that it's hard to collaborate and get with
In
people in
Buffalo,
Buffalo.
yeah. It's very much like high school, and it's very annoying because we all trying to do this. We all have the same passion. It might just be different ideas, and I figure if we come together, two minds are greater than one. But and I've came to like several different people. I was like really really hungry. Last year, I was really really hungry to like work with everybody because I collabed with a lot of good people. But then there was other people that was like, no. But then I could see them in public, and I would go to reach for them, and they would be like, "Oh, you're a red guy." I'm like, "Yeah, hi, nice to meet you." Like, I'm actually a fan. I'm actually a fan, and I would love to work with you. I don't want to work with you. So after a while,
They
I,
don't,
I,
they don't even tell me that. They just be like, yeah, yeah, let's meet up. Let's get together.
oh, I've had that too. Or I've done
Yeah,
a show, and
that's
then
what I
they
get. I get, yeah,
they
yeah,
will
come
talk
on.
to me till it's time to come
Hey,
to the
hey,
show.
take my number down. Take my number down. Everything. I get all that.
Yeah.
Uh,
And let me know.
Hey,
I'm
let me
gonna
know.
be there. I know. I've had all of
I'll
that.
be there, man. I ain't gonna flake you
I
like the rest
promise
of
I'm
the
gonna be
streets
there.
be there.
I'm in it.
Yep. Yep.
I've been to some podcast events in my lifetime. I've been to some events in my lifetime that's just been in some weird places, and it be with people that's supposedly got all these followers.
Yeah.
You get to the event and ain't but 40 people there,
Right.
and 25 of them is family.
Look, I don't even want to talk about that one.
And so, yeah, and they got all these followers, and I would just be sitting up like,
They're like, yeah,
hold
these
up,
people gonna
man.
come.
Like,
I get right on social media. I take one picture, say I'm right here. I pack the place. Thank everybody for coming out. I just posted a picture. He's like, oh my, well, I said 25 of the people. What's your cousin, your mom, your auntie? They don't count. They got
I
it.
don't even, I ain't never said nothing to them, though. I never said nothing to them about it. To this day, they still don't even know that I know
Wow.
that you got bots.
Wow.
Yeah, people will pay for it too. They will.
Oh, I was one of the people. I paid $10, $20 to go to the event because I wanted to know
No. Like they'll
why
pay.
you
They'll
have it.
pay.
Oh,
You
for
pay to
bots?
host an event.
Yeah, I paid to go to the event. I paid to go to the event because I needed to see What is it that you're doing?
Oh, that's different. Okay, that makes sense
I
though.
need. I gotta. I'm one of the ones. I gotta see. You can't
That
just.
makes
You
sense.
can't think. I need to see it. I gotta see that money
Right. That makes sense.
because you could. Because this is what they could do. They can have 40 people there, most of them family. Shoot a video right of how the night went and make you think the whole joint was packed. Damn, it was packed. Everybody was there, man. God damn, I should have came too.
Right.
Because when you see the video, they show part of the crowd. They show everybody with their hands up.
Yeah,
You know
they
what I
show
mean?
that's the
It
big
it, it don't it don't show from the beginning where it was 100 chairs and only 40 of them somebody sitting there.
Right.
right.
They don't show that. You know what I mean? They show
Right.
the person come out. They come out. They dancing. Other people dancing with them. Oh, they was having a good time. But
Wow.
all you got all this in 60 seconds. They don't even show that they was 3 hours late. They don't. Yeah. They don't show that they got a VIP section. Ain't nothing VIP. Okay. They don't
Wow.
show none of that. You gotta pay it. Listen, I'll go. I pay attention. I watch things. I listen. I'm on all that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at these events.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Gotta
You know
pay
what?
attention.
That's a pretty good idea. I might try that.
All right. You gotta go to these events. You gotta go see and then see what they giving out. You'll notice that they give out 2 gift cards through the whole event and a T-shirt.
Yeah.
You waited 2 hours. You got two. They gave out 2 gift cards and a T-shirt. They only did 2 gift. Then they started talking, and they never did a on a podcast. They never do a show. They never do a show, for real. They do a bunch of Q&A with the crowd,
Oh, okay.
and
Okay.
then all right, it's over. Thank y'all for coming out. God bless.
Okay. So when we do our live show, Dennis, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna be like
Oh,
them.
I already know how this thing will go down for this live. I ain't even telling nobody how I know. I already know how this thing will go down. Matter of fact, of Saturday, which is today, at this brunch, I'm gonna give them a piece of it. But I already know how all the shows I'm gonna do from here on out will go down. I already know I'm about to grab them. They about to come like, oh, I gotta go to one of them events. I gotta go to one of the ICP events.
Yeah, we
Yes, you
gotta have
do.
fun. We gonna have
Hey,
fun.
yes, you do. Come on
And,
through.
and and you don't even have to have a whole lot. Just two us two. We can make it live as all as hell.
Right.
But
Right,
just
It's
you
really
two.
about the chemistry, right?
Just like and just like you by yourself, you can still make it live by
right.
yourself.
By yourself.
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, like I haven't tried it since I don't have, since I don't have calls anymore, and that's this year alone. I'm doing it by myself, but um, I don't even know. I haven't even tried yet. I'm waiting till hot girl summer, I guess.
Don't
But
wait till, don't
look,
wait till,
I,
don't
I
wait till
do
the
a
summer.
I do a podcast by myself too. It's not on video yet. I'm just doing audio right now, but I'm about to do video soon. Called "Did You Hear What Chocolate Said?" That's the name of my podcast that I do by myself. But when I start doing live events and it's just me, I'm people they're not even gonna know it's just me. It's gonna be
Right.
that live.
Right.
That's what I
Right.
intend to do. And so what I know what I would do is I would channel everything that I learned by from managing DJs, especially DJ R&B. Shout out to DJ R&B, friend of the
Yeah.
show.
So DJ R&B.
Love him. Best DJ I ever seen in my life, really. But he I learned a lot managing him about crowd
Right.
engagement.
Right.
And it takes man, if you want to do something live, you really got to have some energy. You cannot be up there taking the crowd for granted. And that's what I see some people do, taking the audience for granted. You can't do that just because you up here. They're not going to enjoy you just because you standing up there asking them questions and answering
Yeah.
like Dennis was saying about the Q&A. You
No,
got
I
to
would
do
love to
something
just
else.
like host one, but
Mhm.
I used to throw. I don't think it would be hard. Put it like this: I used to throw parties in the school parking lot, and I I would have hundreds of people coming every weekend to see if I was gonna throw these parties in this parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
And so it wouldn't be hard. It's just like I just haven't tried it yet.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But I know, given what you've told us today, I know once you start doing it, that it's going to be successful because you have that about you. You
Right.
know how to attract people, and you like you were telling me before the show, Buffalo is very community oriented place, and it seems
With
to
community,
me,
not with the social world.
no, but just community.
Yeah.
And I just feel like you know how to attract that community, which is why you're successful just by yourself. You don't even need a whole bunch of people around you.
No, not
That's a
anymore.
gift. That's a gift.
But I think it's just because I still feel the same way I initially started. Maybe like I'm still always nervous before a show. That's what I
Hmm.
said. I'm
Hmm.
nervous right now. I'm nervous before
I'm
every
nervous before every show.
single whoa, huh?
I'm nervous before every show. I know it don't
Every
look like it.
single one. That's how I know that is still a fire. Some people get stagnant or plateau. Like I said, I'm surprised it ever went this far, but it's a blessing, I guess.
But I tell
Years,
you what,
years later.
I tell you one thing. I can't go stagnant with Dennis as my co-host.
Oh, I know.
I can't be stagnant. That's for sure.
Oh, I know.
He keeps me on my toes,
Yeah, I'm trying to do
and
other things in
pisses me
different
off too.
stages.
So
Well, this is my
That-
season. Like once my shows start, I don't stop until probably I always take a break.
mhm.
Because I feel like you
I
always
don't
come
even know
back,
what that is.
always come back. I don't. It's like a cliffhanger to a movie. So
I ain't gonna lie
I'll
to you. I
go.
don't
I
know what
go for
that
like
is.
Christmas and then I'll stop for like maybe like a couple months, and I rebrand every year. So that's all that is.
Well, that good. That's good. But see, that's another part of your success. You're keeping it fresh every
Yes,
year. Hmm.
but yeah, if you want a podcast, just the first step is saying you want a podcast. The second step is going ahead and initially doing it and getting started.
That's right.
Third step is find you a niche. Fourth step is learn to create a schedule.
Hmm.
And then, so right now it's four. And this was 5 steps for me. And then the fifth step is always engage.
Yeah, a
And
lot of people. A lot of people don't talk to the. A lot of people don't talk to the
always,
people.
and my podcast is very much, very, very interactive. They are, let's talk about it. Doesn't necessarily have to be, but it is a lot of times. But Wild Wild Thoughts is an interactive live. You are talking to me live. I talk to you while I'm on there. I'm responding to you. I read the comments. I might ask you a question inside those comments.
Right.
That's good.
That is definitely good. Well, I want to say this one thing. We thank you. We
Thank
want
you.
to continue your content. Don't ever stop because we will be making a surprise appearance on there. Just
Okay.
want to let you know. We will make some. Me and Sharon gonna make a surprise appearance on there. We're gonna come through
Okay.
there,
That's right.
and shake that joint up a little bit.
Boom,
Um,
boom, 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 boom. Pew, pew, pew.
Well,
but do y'all have
turn
any
it into
last words though, ladies? Any last words?
be encouraged. I thank you guys for being on there. Make sure you guys go out and like and share, like and follow. Pass the word along for Let's Talk About It, which is more community based. If you're looking for something more therapy on the air, you want something wild, raunchy, and full of entertainment and jokes. And it's 420 friendly. Um, just go ahead and watch our live on Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wild Wild Thoughts, and Let's Talk About are connected together because I told you guys I manage those pages together. So thank you guys for having me on the show. I very much appreciate it.
What time on Saturday night is the show?
10 p.m.
10 p.m. Okay. Is you can see it on Facebook?
You see it on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram.
Okay, great.
And if you can't find the show, all you got to do is go into Google, see my name where it says Red Gal Sasha at the bottom of the screen. Type that into Google search and you'll see every video I've ever made.
All right. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming. My final thoughts for this morning is believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Even when everybody else is telling you you can't do something, or it's too soon, you need to wait your turn, you don't have enough, all the things that the people say, don't buy into it and don't listen to it. Just stay focused and be you. Kind of reminds me of Jimmy Butler in the Miami Heat right now.
Yes.
They were interviewing Jimmy, and Jimmy was like, just to let y'all know, we really just don't care what y'all think about us. We don't care if y'all think we're gonna win. We don't care.
Right.
I mean, that just really sat with me today when I heard it, because this social media nation that we are, everybody thinks that they have the power to shut you down. That's what a lot of people think. All they got to do is go on social media and say something, and you'll be either canceled or shut down, embarrassed to stop, keep you from doing what you're doing, and you'll just go away, shrink away, and never to be seen again. And so my message is to not listen to the noise. Don't let anybody hold you down, turn you around, turn you away. Don't let anybody hold you up from accomplishing whatever goal it is you have for yourself. Just do the damn thing. Forget what they say. What about you, Dennis? What's your final thoughts for the day?
My final words for the day, I will probably have to say, make sure y'all tune in to everything that we're doing on Everything a Podcast. I'm glad to have Kristina Neely here for her to talk about her 2 shows, and be looking out because we will be on one of the 2 shows shortly. That's what I'm
right.
going to say today.
I think we should get on that wild thoughts first, Dennis.
She do that one in lingerie. I ain't got no lingerie.
I do not do that.
I
That
ain't
is
got
a
no.
marketing
I ain't
rule.
got no lingerie.
It's a marketing rule.
Her intro video, she got
I do
lingerie
that
on.
marketing. I do not
I
do
thought I was at an
lingerie.
OnlyFans or something. I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought it
But
was
look,
OnlyFans.
they don't want to see men in no lingerie, no way. So
I'm
you
not
just
in
need
Dennis is dragging it. I'm not in lingerie. I'll be wearing t-shirts and fitteds and stuff.
That's okay. I'll come on. I'll put my lingerie on. I'll come on.
I'm gonna come on with a radio sticker on and some cowboy boots.
You stupid. Just make sure you bring the liquor when you do, Dennis. That's all I got to say. Bring that liquor.
Bring the liquor, because as she said, it's 420 friendly. Thank y'all for coming out. God bless. Great day.